Hi, everyone, and welcome to the March 1st, 2021 meeting of the Kubernetes SIG Docs localization subgroup meeting. As always, the CNCF Code of Conduct is in effect, which means let's all be nice and talk nicely to each other. So the first thing we'll start with is new attendees. And so it looks like we do have a new attendee. Carmaville, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, thank you. Um, I don't have much to say, honestly. I was saying before the start recording that I'm gonna be participating just as a listener and just to be aware of what are you doing, what are you doing, and what are you planning for the next month.
Absolutely. So a couple of resources for you. I know you're interested in the Spanish localization team. Hopefully you're aware that they do have their own Slack channel. So have you been able to talk to them on the Slack channel?
Yeah, they programming. Oh, they scheduled a meeting for tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic. And for what we do in this subgroup, if you look in the agenda docs that I've posted in the chat, you'll see our full history from our initial meeting, which has our mission statement. But just to summarize, we put this localization subgroup together because we had a large number of localization teams and we were seeing lots of duplication, right? So everyone, say, was building their own tool to figure out what changed in the English to figure out what they needed to localize.
I
And
understand.
yeah, so it really is all about just identifying best practices and common tooling to reduce the workload. And so if you look through the agenda doc, you'll see where we've been able to drive some best practices.
I really appreciate if you can share the link on the channel on the Slack.
Yeah, are you in the SIG Docs localization channel? Or
Yeah,
what you're in the SIG Docs localization?
I'm here.
Okay, so if I go to SIG Docs localization, I'm gonna push it in right there. So hopefully you can get it from there. Otherwise, just DM me on Slack and I'll be happy to give you what you need.
All right.
All right, fantastic. So if I look at the agenda, all right, we do have some things on the agenda. That's Soko. I just wanted to check on any open working items. I know I have one. I need to go back and follow with Kai Ming. I need to double check and see. We wanted to update this information that's on the script. Maybe put it on the main page. I had a busy month last month. I finished my book, and it's going to be published in June. So I have been busy. That's why I've been delinquent. But it's coming out in June, and now I've got some free time to go back and do some work.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's my excuse. So I had that one action item. And then I think if I double check, Soko had an item, I believe, to document that the localization team is translating a previous version of the docs, the content snapshot, and that's okay to merge PRs. And you were going to work on an existing PR. So Soko, was there an update on that, on that action item, or is it still in progress?
That existing PR has been merged yesterday, so I should initiate updating that document. I will work on soon.
Okay.
The existing one is not opened by myself.
So you're saying that The PR was merged. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Excellent.
Sorry. There was existing PR, so I couldn't work because of some conflict content. So since the previous PR was merged,
Mhm.
I can work on it. I
Okay.
will work on soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this PR can now proceed as a conflicting PR has been merged. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, cool. Okay, status. Okay. Great. All right. Okay, and all right, so Soko, we're on to your topic. So you're going to give a Korean localization update, and this is all being recorded. So even if we don't have a big crowd, they can come watch it afterwards.
Mhm.
So go ahead, Soko.
Okay. I just want to share Korean localization status. As you know, we have a branch strategy, and we are currently working on 120 KO5. It is fifth Korean localization branch, and it is based on master branch. And we are still reviewing some PRs on KO5, but status is green, so we are okay to go. And this branch will be merged to master branch in this week.
Oh, wow.
So I hope to share this status briefly. Thank you.
Fantastic. That's great. Hey, Rael, welcome.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Good. And hopefully you've met Carmaville. He's looking to work on the Spanish translation. So,
Yes,
yeah.
in fact, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about in this meeting, but
Okay.
I can wait afterwards, so don't worry. There's no
Okay.
hurry.
Yeah, we'll add you right after Soko's agenda items, and then the floor is yours. Soko, what's your next item?
This item is about the prefix syntax of PR titles for localization. As we discussed in localization subgroup previous meeting, we agreed to use prefix for localization PR title like KO dash, KO. But we found that there are some actions from English approvers that retitling Korean localization title like the second one. So the style seems a little bit different, but so I hope to double check which one is preferred way for localization subgroup and SIG Docs as well.
Right. I believe the preferred is with the brackets.
Bracket is preferred.
I believe so. We can double check, but I think that's what, if we read the notes from the previous meetings, I think that's what we wanted to try and do was in the brackets. I think either way it works, right? Either way it makes it clear, but I think the brackets help to make it obvious that the what's in the brackets refers to a code for localization team.
Okay, then yeah, I will share it to Korean localization team as well. So
okay.
You mean this style is
Yeah, I believe that's preferred.
one, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that resolves our concern.
Okay. Fantastic. And then it looks like you have one more item.
Okay. Mm, this item is regarding the actually in uh, last year in localization subgroup meeting, we discussed this issue, localization related files without ownership to localization team, such as KOTOML, KOML and README KOMD. Those files are about it is actually localization content, but we don't have ownership on those files. So we already discussed this issue, but I'm not sure the current status of this issue.
Yeah, I think what we did is I made awareness of this issue to the SIG Docs working group and the SIG Doc leaders, and they agreed to 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 be willing to make sure that any changes you needed to that file were given proper attention. So I think we were going to try and make sure that they were there to make sure they could do merge any updates you needed to that file. I think the problem was how things were structured. Um, it wasn't easy to give out access, I believe. So I think they wanted to try, hey, contact Irvi or Jim Angle and say, hey, I need we need a change to this file. I think was the question, just because I think it was hard to set up the permissions and they didn't know how to change it. Um, so so is it possible that that'll work, or do we need to go back to them and say, no, that's not good enough?
That method is also okay for Korean localization team.
I'm sorry.
Whenever we need to change that parts and request it to English approval or SIG Docs leaders. It is okay for us, but maybe some your localization team make inquiry regarding this issue. So maybe it would better to be documented somewhere.
Okay.
Those files we don't provide authority to those files, and then to change this file, you need to request it to SIG Docs leader or English approver, like that.
Yeah. Do you want to take an action item to just go document that? And
Why not?
what's that?
Yeah, I can help you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. So we just have to go get that documented somewhere, but that would be like on the Korean page is where you're thinking, or you think on the main page? My guess is on the Korean
Maybe
page.
Korean localization team document is okay. Yeah, actually, Korean localization team already knows how we should work on that part because we are experienced. But I'm not sure for other localization teams.
So maybe on the main
Maybe,
page.
yes, maybe you can
Okay.
provide some note like that.
Yep. Yeah, so if I add an action item, Brad, I can worry about that if you want. Brad to work to document the process that if a localization team needs this updated, that they should contact SIG Docs leadership for an expedited review / approval via Slack. Does that sound about right? I was updating it in real time in the agenda.
Yeah, I think it is enough.
Okay. Okay, so I'll work on that, and I'll bring that up to them and make sure that we're going to do that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, sure. Any other open items, Soko, from you?
No, that's all.
Okay, thanks. Great update, Soko. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have on the agenda is Rael. Rael, what's going on?
So we're having in the Spanish team because after an event that was on the end of January, we had the Kubernetes Community Day for El Salvador, that is a country in South America. So after that event, I was giving a talk, and a lot of new folks joined into the Spanish team, what is awesome. So we're trying to get this kind of inertia that we got from that event going on. So the first thing we did is, and thanks to Camille, that was on Carmarine, sorry, that was the one proposing that. We had an event this week. We will start doing a weekly meeting, so it's a bit overkill probably having weekly meetings for the team, but it's something that we discussed about, and probably for the first weeks to get things started and build a bit of the grounds to get work done. I think it's probably a good thing having this weekly meeting, and then probably we'll move to something more like bi-weekly or something like that. And that's all. This is the pull request. It's still pending validation. It has a look good to me, but I need someone to approve the pull request. And also I am talking with Marty Jackson, that was on one of the Zoom admins, to get the Zoom thingy started and the configuration, how to proper do the meetings with Zoom, and then afterwards publishing them to YouTube. So that's the thing. I think it's a really good thing, because for the last year was been a bit rough. A lot of people just disappear from the team, and we are trying to get things starting again, and that really good. And also we are probably switching one of the owners of the Spanish localization team, because I have not right now enough time to work on that. So probably we will be looking for a new lead to co-lead with me the Spanish team localization. And so that's all the things that we have right now. Yeah, probably next week we will start discussing how we are going to work from now on, and probably after that meeting we will have more information and more content to share with the rest of the localization teams once we get things started. So, I think that's all. I don't know if Carmaville wants to introduce himself, or he already did.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not ready to be on live streaming, but who cares anyway? I would like to know if you know how is this process, because I need to know who is in the group able to do what we have to do. I mean, we can just organize what we have to do, and it's a lot, but I would like to know the process, because if I read a page and there are main or master and dev, which which branch should I work?
Okay.
Who is the group? There's a lot of things to ask tomorrow, and honestly, I don't know who is gonna be there tomorrow.
I'm going to be there, and I have all the answers to all those questions. So don't worry. Right now we are working on a particular branch flow, but for example, we are getting a lot of knowledge from the Korean team because they are doing a particular strategy to do branches and keep everything on track. We are not there yet. We are working against always master. So we do a 4 days, a kind of process described somewhere. But I think this is something that we want to talk tomorrow. So everyone needs, okay, let's go, how we will start, no? And we try to figure out the current documentation, if that is need for new documentation on how to get things started. We probably do a bit of code review or existing pull requests, how the flow is working, how to pull the, so we are talking about a lot of things tomorrow to get things started. So everyone new from the community to the community can get things done, can start working on contributing.
I mean, there is a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. But always is a lot. So the thing is, we have already a list of the items that we think it's more important because we are going, we have the analytics from Google, so we know what pages are the most ones, the more visited, the most consulted.
I mean,
all this
I'm not trying to
information.
say that there is too much work. I mean, you can choose whatever you want. I mean, there's
Yeah, we have, yeah, but that's the thing what we are adding these weekly meetings to be able to split the work into small chunks so we can start working on the little things and then going over and over until it's a really long way from now to having the entire site in Spanish. It's a really long way, but we need to start somewhere. So, but this is something that we are going to discuss tomorrow in the Spanish weekly meeting. So everyone knows how to start, why we choose that particular set of pages, why not, what is the current flow, how we can improve the flow. Maybe we can grab some things from the Korean team and try to do some more branching instead of going always a branch master. The thing is, we are a really, really small team. Till last week, we were a one-man only team or two-man only team. So we are trying to get things done, but we need more people. Once we have more people, we can do more ambitious branching, for example, and maybe trying to keep track of the upstream versions, but we are not there yet. So we need to get things some base, and then maybe once we have more or less the site in Spanish, we can start going against branches and keeping releases and so on. But we are far from that. We want to be there in the future for sure, but we are not yet there. We need to start things slowly and get more people involved. Try to, for example, there is here in Spain, there is a summit in March, and I published a proposal for a talk about Kubernetes contributing and working on documentation. So that's another way to help to the documentation team. If you have a meetup near your town or something like that, you can also do a talk. We have a lot of material on how to contribute, how to start working on documentation. We did several hackathons in the past, so there is a lot of work to get new people involved. So, but everything is something that we are going to discuss tomorrow with the rest of the team. So we have the agenda, so you can go to the agenda, and any question that you have right now, you can just write down it there, and then we can talk tomorrow about that. I will share.
Instead of land ask my questions in the group, that just take note in the agenda to discuss about.
Yeah, you have any question that you have, put it there, and we have a lot of things to work about, because the same question that you have, probably new folks coming to the project, we will have the same question. So if we can write them down, write documentation answering all the ends on the questions, probably the next one, we have a better way to start working on that. So,
all right.
Any feedback is good. Okay. And we are really happy to have you here, and welcome to Kubernetes, and welcome to.
I'm excited to be here. I joined on February 6th. I mean, open month meeting with people that speak English, and I was thinking, where's the Spanish trip? I think I missed the previous missed meeting, but it's a good time, so I'm excited.
Always is a good time to get things started. So never too late.
Yep.
Very good.
Hey, Rael, so I looked at your PR. I put in the one that I did because I think there's a separate, I think there's two files you need to update with your meeting information. So you might want to look at mine. And then I'm also just trying to see who I asked to merge my PR. I think it was Bobby Tables, but I'm trying to look real fast. So I put that both in the meeting agenda and
Yeah. I think that all the documentation is generated. So you only need to change the YAML and then you execute a target and everything else gets fulfilled. So maybe change it.
Oh yeah, but so yeah. So that's how it was. You changed the one file,
The
but
YAML?
you changed the first file, but then you need to run a command locally,
Yeah.
so it generates the file, and then
Yeah.
two files should be
But there
pushed.
are already 3 files in the pull request. There are the
Oh, was there? Okay, so you got that covered.
it's
Okay.
the SIG list markdown, the README markdown, and that's the files that are generated after editing the YAML and running the build target.
Yeah, and I think I'm just checking. Yeah, I can't remember, unfortunately, who merged my PR. So who you can ask to I think it was Mr. Bobby Tables.
Okay, I can ping him on the Slack.
Yeah, Mr. Bobby Tables, at Mr. Bobby Tables. Let me put that in for you. That is the proper person to bug to get those updates.
Okay, I'm going to add him as reviewer and
yeah, that's who I think you want to ask to be the reviewer. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Does that help? So that should hopefully get things expedited.
Okay, great.
Good.
Yeah, and I am working for Marty Jackson to get the Zoom credentials so we can create the Zoom meeting.
Very nice.
Probably will be all set, and tomorrow we start like trying to get the things started again, because there is a huge project, but locally for us, Spanish is one of the top languages in the world. So we have a lot of people willing probably to help with that, and a lot of people willing to read it. So that's a really great position.
Okay.
I think that's all from my side.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a proper Spanish proverb. I'm going to have one that maybe kind of works. Cuando el río sueña, piedras traje.
Something like that. It's
something like that.
Es cuando el río suena agua lleva, algo así es.
That's right. The noisy river brings rocks. Is that somewhere close or no?
Es cuando el río suena, piedras trae. It's something like when there's a lot of noise regarding something, there is probably some truth behind that. So maybe it make a bit of sense. Yeah.
I did my best.
There are a lot of people showing in the channel, asking questions in the Spanish channel, asking on how to start, get things done, how to ask, and probably this is the noise. And the real thing behind is, okay, let's have a meeting, let's get things done.
Okay, well, if I embarrassed myself, I apologize, Rael. I did my
not
best.
at all. Never.
Try to be multilingual. Excellent. So we're making good progress on that front. Very great. Are there any other topics for today, or we covered everything?
Yeah, I think more than I expected. Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Yep. And Ryle's a great resource, Carmenville. He's done a lot of our education in the past. He's helped out with that. So he can really give you a lot of great advice on how to get started, on how to contribute. So he's going to be a great resource for you.
Thank you both for the kind words. Thank you very much.
Well deserved. Okay, so I think we made good progress for today. Any other topics, or we all get free time back? All right, I'll take that as we are good to go. Thank you all for joining. Great progress, and we'll keep moving forward. We'll see you next month.
Bye
See
bye.
you next
Right.
month.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye. And we'll stop recording.